Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the Edijester again, and the second in my series about resources for parents. The reason I'm doing this is because I think as this hots up, the schools is where it's going to be at. I really do. So I think it's absolutely vital that we enable parents to speak in the correct terms and to understand what's going on, but also to get support for themselves if they are living with someone who is um, involved in trans ideation. And this group is a Bayswater support group, a group to support parents again. And they've been around for some time, as we'll see. But before we begin, become a warrior teacher. You can join us for our November cohort, buy me a coffee, the usual sort of stuff. So, again, if parents wish to find and look at some of these groups, you'll find it under my series called Help for Parents. And you'll see if you search my YouTube channel that you'll find more. So we've already done our duty. This is Bayswater Support Group. I've got more to come. And it won't just be around gender. I'm going to take a look, for example, at Don't Divide Us Now, who are working within the critical race theory space, which is also a part of the critical social justice nonsense. So in this case, we've got Bayswater Support here, a support group who have been with us since autumn 2019, when three parents who'd met online decided to meet in person. It's wonderful how these things happen, isn't it? These small groups get together, and then before you know it, you're away. For convenience, we chose the area of Bayswater in London, hence the name. By the time of our first meeting in October of that year, we'd become a group of 25 mums and dads, the Bayswater support group, and they were supporting each other with the difficulties that they were facing. We adopted a simple governing document as an unincorporated association. By the time we held our first AGM in early 2021, we'd grown to more than 200 members, and we now number over 650. Notice this line here, I think it's important. We are strictly for parents and guardians of children and young adults who identify as trans or non-binary. We felt that the public discourse about gender-distressed young people was often occupied by people who weren't directly impacted by the issue as we were. So we wanted parents to have a voice directly. And what an important voice that is going to become as we move forward in the battle to eradicate gender identity ideology from schools and from our society. They have members in all regions of England and in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland. Our members are overwhelmingly parents whose children are adolescents or young adults. Now, isn't that interesting? And they're saying that adolescents, i.e., teenagers or above 18, I presume, but what they mean by young adults, not the so-called younger cohort, which is a different cohort altogether, especially when it comes to talking about things like rapid onset gender dysphoria. All of these are at different stages. They are at different stages of gender transition, have different experiences of NHS services. So that's a brief history there about them, giving us an idea where they came from and why they exist and what they're here to do now. And then as we move down, we can see that we've got their vision, our vision to see a robust framework for supporting families with a child, adolescent, or young adult identifying as trans or gender distressed, which allows for extensive exploration without presenting the concept of transition, social or medical, as the first line solution, and recognizes that a transgender identity may be a manifestation of many underlying issues. This echoes the words of Dr. David Bell, previously of the Tavistock, who said, we don't know the reason why people do this, and it could be absolutely unrelated to why they do it. It could be unrelated to what you think is the reason they're doing it. So what they're saying is here that in light of that, again, echoing Cass, that we, Dr. Cass, that is, of the Cass report, that they don't see this as a first line solution. I personally don't see it as any kind of solution, but this is what they think there at Bayswater. That may tie in with what you think. Their aim is to provide evidence and experience-based peer support for parents with trans-identified children, to provide additional services such as informed advocacy and education to state agencies, including schools, government and NHS services, signposting to therapists and strategists to support the family unit and child, which take an exploratory, open-ended approach to resolving issues related to gender distress. And you can see their core values there is that they strive to be optimistic, empathetic, supportive, and evidence-led. For parents, I can tell you from my experience of dealing with parents with children who have been lost to this particular cult, that being optimistic is a necessary thing. It's not always easy. It's not always easy. And as warrior teachers would tell you, being empathetic is absolutely necessary. And they're supportive, but finally the absolute must do, which is to be evidence led. They offer the following: in-person meetings, online meetups, webinars, website resources, email newsletter, one-to-one support. And they also have a members forum there, as you can see. And you're able to join by contacting them. You can join or clicking on the join us, become a member at the top there if you want to join. And that talk to you about what it means to be a full member. And then you have an application for membership form as well that you can utilize. Now, when we go back to the homepage, you can also see there that they've got other areas to explore. This one particularly, the top 10 tips. Let's take a quick look at this. And you can see there's an image, which I'll open in a new tab. There are the top 10 tips for parents for trans-identified kids, starting with listen to your child, then inform yourself how vital that is. And it's not a small task. I mean, they're not making light of it by just having this image. They understand it's not a small task. The internet isn't your ally. Advocate to schools, consider your boundaries, address other health needs, be prepared for the long term, talk about sex and gender, help your child live a good life, and finally, look after yourself. I think sometimes some of us forget that, about looking after yourself. I know I did. I don't so much anymore. That's important. Take time for you. Hug a tree. Kiss a cat. Pet a cat. Didn't Jordan Peterson say that? I think he did in one of his things. Pet a cat. It's important. Take moments. Try to cultivate moments of stillness. So that's another addition. Along with our duty, we have Bayswater support group that may appeal to you. You are, of course, free as a parent to contact anybody you wish. And if necessary, multiple organisations. So this is Bayswater support group. They are available online as well. If you search for them on Twitter, you'll find them. And this is yet another kind of support that is available to parents. That's it. So there's another one, Bayswater support. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. You have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.